My name's Jason Kaplan. I'm with Ray Angelini Incorporated. We're the solar integrator that actually installed the panels on the school. And we also built this, which is a solar shed, as you can see. There are three 235-watt solar panels mounted here on the roof. And they are, each of them puts out about 30 to 36 volts, right? They're connected in series together. So the solar, as you know, produces a DC output, and that DC output goes into the shed here. On the inside of the shed, there is a charge controller that takes the DC input, and it also bridges to a battery bank that's located inside the shed, where there's two I believe they're 104 amp hour big batteries in there. So you have the battery and the solar that both input into the charge controller. The charge controller then sends that DC current out into another enclosure that's inside the shed, which has a pump controller and some electronics in there to run a pump, like a submersible water pump. The initial idea here was that you could run a pump off of this thing and gauge the the water column and things like that from the DC voltage directly. Now, we also installed a breaker panel on the inside of the shed, which gives you the ability to tie in up to four 15 amp loads on that distribution panel. There's breakers in there, so you could really tie in whatever you'd like. Now, you're limited to a certain extent by the power that you have. Like I said, the panels really charge the battery bank, which is again it's 24 volts and it's approximately 200 or so amp hours. So within those constraints, you can do a bunch of things. I understood you guys wanted to charge up some different things, robots, etc. You could definitely do that by tying into the breaker panel that's in there. We installed the pump ourselves on one of those breakers, but there are spare breakers for tying in whatever you'd like. Okay, this device here is going to be an enclosure where just this is going in there? Yeah. Okay, this is an auxiliary display, which is basically going to tell you volts and amps and the goings-on of the charge controller inside. So really this is just a duplicate of what is presented on the display that's inside the shed, but it will be mounted out here so you can see it without going in the shed. From that box outside, the conduit comes in here and goes into this, which is the charge controller. Right. This conduit here goes down to this enclosure, which if you get a shot inside of here, there's a bunch of different things. We have a fuse block here. I believe Jason was just telling me that the one on the right is for the power to the whole system, the 24-volt power.
Just 24 volt, and the one on the left is from the rooftop array.
So the rooftop array. If you wanted to isolate the panels on the roof, you could pull these fuses out of here, right here. We have two of these big 12-volt, 100 amp hour batteries. So they are together to produce the 24 volts. This right here is the pump controller, which is fed from the power from the charge controller, which runs the pump. So the conduit that goes outside, I assume, is this one here.